What's good, everybody? It's when I come back at another video. So with this video, I'm going to explain to you guys how to get far in life. See, many people think in order to get far in life, it's all about being smart. It's all about being intelligent. And I'm here to tell you that couldn't be further from the truth. Now, of course, being smart and intelligent can help you, right? Like it definitely serves as a factor. But brains is not the end all be all, right? Brains alone is not what's going to get you to where it is that you want to go. What's truly going to get you to the next level or get you far in life is being consistent, right? Because if you're consistent, that means you're doing something over and over and over. You're going through the process, you're going through the motion dozens of times, hundreds of times, thousands of times. And as you do something over and over, that is when things become muscle memory. That is when you become unconsciously competent at something, right? If, for example, if we use an example, right? When it comes to tying your shoes, of course, at this point, if you're watching the video, right, likely you're an adult, right? You've tied your shoes thousands of times, tens of thousands of times. And so when you're tying your shoes, you're not actively thinking about how to tie your shoes, right? Because you've done it so many times. So when it comes to tying your shoes, you are unconsciously competent at it because you've done it so many times in your life. If I ask you to play an instrument that you never played before, chances are you probably aren't going to, play the instrument very well. Even if you can read music, right? You probably won't be able to play the instrument very well because this is your first few times doing it, right? You have not developed the muscle memory for it. And so every time you're doing something with it, you have to actively think about where to put your fingers, when to hit whatever keys, right? Because you've never done it before. And that has nothing to do with brains, right? It has nothing to do with smarts. It's all about going through the motions, right? Because as you do something over and over and over, of course, when things become muscle memory, that is when things become a lot easier for you than it is for other people, right? And you also gain all that experience that you now have under your belt, right? You probably made all those mistakes, or you probably made all those failures, even though failure doesn't actually exist, right? Because each and every attempt, you learn something new, you gain more information. So those failures are actually getting you closer to success, right? Failure and success are on the same road. It's just failure just means if you believe you've failed, that means if we equate it to a highway, it's almost like you taking the highway and then turning off an early exit, right? Exiting off early off the highway. That is basically failure because that's you effectively giving up, thinking you can't do it or you're not good enough. But you need to fail and make mistakes and learn on your way to success, right? Success, if we look at it as a highway, right? Success is the final exit of the highway. And people who fail are people who get off the highway on an earlier exit. That's all it is, right? So getting far in life is just all about consistency, right? There's plenty of people out there who would consider themselves to not be very intelligent or to not be very bright, right? There's some people out there who don't know how to do many things, but they just know how to do one thing. And because they put all their attention and focus in doing one thing and mastering one thing, they can still be successful and they can still be great, right? So in this lifetime, you want to focus on your purpose. You want to focus on the gift that you've been given, which a gift is something that you can do exceptionally well that other people can't, right? Or something that comes easy and effortless to you that isn't the case for other people, right? You want to focus on, your purpose, your gift, your talent, right? Anything that you're passionate about, anything that's important to you, that means something to you, you want to focus on that and dedicate time into that, because then as you put in your hours, you will effectively surpass everyone else, because majority of the people on this planet, on earth, right, are inconsistent. Majority of the people, they want microwave result. They want to try something, which is like, to give something a couple attempts or to attempt for a day or for a week or for a month. And if they don't arrive at their dream destination or their dream goal of where it is that they want to go, then they just give up, right? Some people dream of becoming a massive content creator with 1 million followers or 1 million subscribers, right? And then if the first month go by and they're only at 5 subscribers, they just give up because they say, oh, well, it's not going to work out for me. Not realizing that because they gave up, then they're pretty much guaranteeing that it's not going to work out for them because they've given up, right? But someone who's consistent is going to work at it and keep at it until it happens, right? If you keep working at something, it's inevitable for it to work out for you. It's inevitable for you to succeed because you're gonna keep gaining experience. You're gonna keep gaining just knowledge and information until you become an expert. And then, of course, other people will look at you and ask you for guidance, or you can serve as a mentor for other people. Then other people will effectively pay you and want you to help them with whatever services, right? So the same idea with anything, right? The basketball players become the best basketball players in the world because they play basketball every single day and they're exceptional at it. And people will pay top dollar to get, mentored or privately coached by the best players in the world because they know what they're talking about, because they got to that level, right? It's like people would much rather pay top dollar. If we're speaking about basketball, right? Someone is going to pay more money to have a one-on-one training session with LeBron James compared to a personal trainer, an average trainer. Why? Because this is the best at, the best of the best, right? Same idea with anything else in life, right? People are much more willing to pay a premium to go see an exceptional doctor compared to an average doctor. Or most people are willing to pay a premium to go see someone like Taylor Swift compared to a local artist, right? It's because there are people who are exceptional because they're consistent, because they decided to continue at it and do what it is that they love, do what it is that they're passionate about, to keep honing in on their talent and their craft year after year after year, decade after decade, until they become the experts, they become the best in the world. And once you get to that point, you virtually become irreplaceable, because you can't just walk down the street and find someone who's going to do what you do or can offer what you offer, right? That's not how it works. So this is why the successful people in life are the ones that are consistent. These are the people who settle on one or two things, like a couple things, but usually one thing, and they focus all their attention on that, and they always find ways to improve and get better, right? If they can even get just 1% better each and every day, then if they do that day after day after day, right, then it's going to compound, right? You are going to see the effects over an extended period. You may not see anything right away, or maybe not the first day or the first week or the first month, right? But over time you will. It's no different than working out, right? If you want to go to the gym and exercise, right, because you want to improve your physique, you can go to the gym one day and you'll probably look exactly the same. But if you continue going to the gym 5 days a week, right, with a proper regimen, proper eating habits, proper everything, after a couple months, you will see a difference, right? No one claps or applauds for the person who goes to the gym one time, right? Well, you can get support, but what I'm saying is it's not seen as an accomplishment for someone who goes one time, right? It's seen as an accomplishment once you're able, after an extended period, once you're able to start seeing the finalized results, right? Like once other people are able to see the results for themselves, that's when other people will begin applauding you and clapping for you, right? But at the beginning, you probably won't get much support from other people because other people won't be able to see your vision, right? Other people won't be able to see your results. So it's that idea there. That is the secret to getting far in life. And I know it sounds cliche, right? You hear it all the time. Oh, just don't quit, right? Just keep going. It's cliche, but it's the truth, right? It's the best. It's the best advice that you can give, because if you simply give up, then you're pretty much going right back to the beginning of where you were, praying for an opportunity to fall in your lap. And right now, chances are you have perfectly good opportunity in your lap right now, right? You can become someone great. You just need to focus and lock in on something that's important to you and strive to become the best at it. Show up each and every day to become the best at it, right? And if there are any naysayers, if there are any doubters, like, put away the noise, right? Don't give it any attention, because at the end of the day, you're doing this, whatever it is that you're pursuing it for a greater reason, for a greater purpose. Maybe because you envision yourself in the future and you envision how your life is going to be with this in the future, right? You've created that picture in your mind. You have a purpose, you have a why, and your why should always outweigh the opinions of other negative opinions of other people or the naysayers, right? Just keep at it. If you keep going at something, eventually you are going to win, because the majority of people don't, right? So it's no different. This is no different than the analogy of a race, right? If we're racing a marathon, there can be 1,000 people who are eager to run the marathon and excited to run the marathon. but not all 1,000 people are going to cross the finish line, right? There's probably many people who signed up who's never even trained for a marathon or a race, but they want to experience the satisfaction and the thrill of participating in a marathon. Those people are not going to make it to the end, right? They might quit by mile 1 or even before they get to the first mile. There's going to be other people who are going to run in a full sprint because they think that is the fast way to make it to the end, only for them to gas out by the first mile and give up, right? Then there's going to be other people who might make it to mile 10 or mile 20 and give up, right? Because they ran out of energy or they just can't make it. And then it's you, if you continue going at the steady pace, right? Step after step after step, even if you're so exhausted that you begin crawling, right? As long as you continue heading in the right direction to the finish line, it's inevitable for you to arrive at the finish line at whatever time you're supposed to arrive. It's the same idea there, right? A lot of people, majority of people at some point, they give up because they want results right away. And then when they don't get it, they think it doesn't work. And so they give up. But it's the people who decide to be consistent at it that make it to the end. Even if I'm walking or crawling towards the finish line in a marathon, I'm still going to get there. It may take a lot longer, but if I continue at it, if I keep at it, I will eventually make it to the end. And that's the idea that you need to have. That's the mentality that you need to approach things. So that is the major piece of advice there. Being consistent. It can't be overstated enough, right? The people who are consistent are the people who end up being the industry leaders or the experts in anything. And once you become the best at anything, right, people will hold you in a high regard, right? People want to look for you for guidance, for information, for products, for services, right? You just need to strive to be the best, and you be the best by showing up each and every day and putting your best foot forward. So let me the other thing here, right, is like you must be consistent first. And I have some notes here, that's why. So you must be consistent first before you can be exceptional, right? The same idea here, right? You gotta go through the motion over and over and over, so then you can be the best, right? And that is how you stand out and become exceptional, by showing up each and every day, because you're doing something that most people don't, right? So you're going to automatically, with that logic, you're automatically going to be an outlier. So when you become the outlier, that is how you become exceptional at it, because you're better than everyone else, right? Since everyone is inconsistent. And the last thing I'll say is, oftentimes being consistent can get boring, right? Because you're doing the same thing over and over and over, right? If you're putting out content, like myself, I put out content each and every day, that can get boring for most people. But it's not boring for me, because this is who I am, and this is what I enjoy doing, and this is what I'm passionate about. And I understand that each and every video is going to have a different impact on someone, right? It can be someone anywhere around the world who tunes in to watch this video, and this video can provide them with gems and value that can help change their life. And so I want to keep recording these videos because, one, they're a lot of fun for me, and two, I understand the impact that I'm having. And this video, and the knowledge that I put here, I know will stand the test of time. So a lot of times when it comes to being consistent, it's repeating the same thing over and over, and it can get boring, but that is what makes you the best, and that's what makes you great, right? We use another example, right? Say, for example, working at a pizzeria. Of course, if you work at a pizzeria, you're likely going to be making a lot of pizzas, and making pizzas over and over and over and over, for a lot of people, that can get boring. But people who love pizza, who love the art of cooking and love the art of making pizza, they will fall in love with the process each and every time they do it, because they understand that every single time they're spinning the pizzas in the air and dressing the pizza up with the sauce and the cheese, that every single attempt is a brand new attempt, that they learn something new, that they can either continue refining their skills or improve on something, or learn something that can help make the art of making pizzas even better, right? So you always learn something new, because every attempt is a brand new attempt, even if it may seem boring, right? If you care about something and you're truly passionate about it, then you'll still keep at it no matter what. So I just leave the video right there, right? Just remember, to get far in life, it's less about smarts and less about IQ. There's so many people out there who are extremely successful in life, and by success, I'm referring to happy, and financial success, right? And career success, right? Plenty of people out there have these things, but they are not smart. They wouldn't not consider themselves to be smart or intelligent or bright. They just found something that they liked, that they were good at, and pursued it, and put all the attention on that, and disregarded everything else. And so they may suck at everything else, but because they're good at this one thing and remain consistent at it, they were able to become exceptional, right? If you're good at making pizzas, then you can probably open up a pizzeria, right? And you can probably do very well because you probably serve the best pizzas. And then if the business is doing well, then guess what? You can probably open up more pizzerias and potentially make a chain of a company simply because you started off as being good making pizzas. Now, you might not be good at anything else, right? But you being good at that one thing of pizzas can be the vehicle that gets you to be successful because you've done it so many times, right? So it's that idea to you. It's not about being smart. It's just about going at it and keeping at it and maintaining your foot on the gas for one thing that's truly important to you until you become exceptional. You become exceptional by doing it over and over until you effectively become the best. So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe as we're on the road to 1 million subscriber, guys. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.